Whenever you mention the name Bill Gates, you might instantly think of 1,000 different things, primary of which is his claim to fame for the now mega billion-dollar company Microsoft, which has come a long way since the 90s of being your average PC operating system. In fact, the company has delved into just about everything from PC and laptop software and apps to video games with the Xbox, and probably one many forget, the cell phone. But with all this kind of business, you would assume that Mr. Gates has quite the stash of money to play with and invest in just about anything that he wants. And you'd be right. Most notably though, he purchased a $150 million mega mansion, which makes even most celeb mansions look like your average home in the burbs. So join us today on Dayum as we go inside Bill Gates' $130 million mega mansion, the beginning of his billions. Ever since his early years, Gates had a huge interest in technology. In fact, he was already writing his first software program at age 13. Talk about being a child prodigy. He and a few other students would go on to exploit bugs in the high school's operating system to obtain free computer time in their computer class. After his shenanigans in high school, Gates joined Harvard in 1975 and formed Microsoft with his hometown friend Paul G. Allen in junior year. He ended up dropping out of the Ivy League school to focus more on growing the company, naming himself the head of Microsoft at just 23 years old. When he was 31, Gates became a billionaire on paper and slowly became a public figure as the years went by. He and his wife created the charity Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to fund global health crises and development, along with other philanthropic work for people around the world, such as finding alternate energy, clean water, building homes, and everything in between. In the last couple of years, though, Gates has been quietly stepping down from his position as Microsoft chairman to focus more on his charity work and find more innovative ways to create alternate forms of energy as he has become concerned about the long-term effects we humans are making on the planet. But even with Bill not taking the reins as heavily in his next 30 or so years, that is going to free up a lot of his time to spend less hours in the boardroom and more time in one of the many bedrooms of his mega mansion. Bill balls big. It doesn't come as a surprise that one of the wealthiest people in America, let alone the world, wouldn't be dishing out some big wads of cash for such a luxurious home. And just even calling it luxurious doesn't even give the place enough credit. Starting with the overall nature of the house, this sprawling complex is a whopping 66,000 square foot home worth a reported $150 million. According to Business Insider, the house was coined Xanadu 2.0 after a fictional home from Citizen Kane's lead character Charles Foster Kane in the film Citizen Kane, which in and of itself is a throwback to an ancient Chinese city called Xanadu, which was considered an opulent place of wealth and riches. Seriously, that's a lot of meta references. Anywho, the entire time that it took to complete this now new and magnificent ancient city was 7 years and cost the billionaire a cool $63 million. Because honestly, when you're a billionaire, you just have that kind of money lying around. The tech owner bought the land in 1988 for the low price of just $2 million and built it with 500-year-old Douglas fir trees around the complex so as to have a more secluded and private layout, just so the neighbors wouldn't be spying on you. The construction featured 300 workers, 100 of whom were electricians, and features 6 full-sized kitchens that are decked to the nines with all your typical cookware, such as ovens and pantries, 7 bedrooms, and 24 bathrooms. Because when you gotta go, you just gotta go. It also has an extensive library where Gates keeps one of Leonardo da Vinci's manuscripts that he bought for $30 million. Way more interesting than the plastic globe I got at some yard sale. It even has a dining hall which can stand 200 guests and seat 150, just like a royal palace you would find in some distant fantasy land. And for those cold nights during the winter, a limestone fireplace dominates one wall of the 2,300 square foot hall, and another wall comes complete with a 22-foot wide video screen. The home theater itself is its own mini cinema with all the popcorn, candy, and sodas you could dream of, plus the theater-style seating has plush seats and can accommodate 20 guests, which makes a sleepover at Bill's place that much more cool. The property also houses 2,500 square feet of exercise facilities, including a giant trampoline, a sauna, locker room, and a steam room. And once you are done at the gym, you can tour the $80,000 worth of computer screens throughout the place that display different paintings and photographs, which allow guests to change the artwork at any given time. And being the tech guru that Gates is, you can bet your bottom dollar that there are also high-tech features all over the house, such as a monitored 40-year-old maple tree that gets watered in case it goes dry, or even wearable tech items that guests can use to custom fit temperature, lighting, and other things in their own little separate part of the house. Xanadu 2.0 is surrounded by lush greenery, including trees that give the Gates family that much-needed privacy we mentioned earlier, all while keeping the home cool and eco-friendly so as to cut down on some of the electric costs. One of the outdoor features that the million-dollar home boasts is of a 60-foot pool with its own underwater music system, along with there being an artificial stream that is always stocked with fish, including salmon and trout, plus access to a lakefront shore called Gates Beach, which has sand delivered directly from St. Lucia every year. By all means, though, Bill Gates' collection of homes don't stop there. In fact, he's got even more mansions and villas spread out across multiple states, and all of them are by no means cheap. By the way, if you're feeling just as generous as Bill Gates is with his Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, maybe you could do the same to us with your like of this video and your subscription to the channel, along with the ding on that notification bell so as to keep up to date with all the latest and greatest rich lifestyles that you know you want to have someday. Home is where the heart is. If you thought that his primary Xanadu home in Washington was the only place that Bill likes to crash at, then you might be in for quite a surprise. Believe it or not, Gates has 6 other properties that are spread out across the country worth an estimated $170 million. For starters, there's a $43 million beach home located in Del Mar, California, which is a more normal-sized mansion that comes with 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, an in-home theater, a private spa, a tennis court, a hot tub that can fit up to 10 people, and a glass-tiled pool, and that doesn't even include the 2 guest houses. Then there is the $12.5 million mansion in Indian Wells, California that cost them $12.5 million in 1999. This 13,573 square foot property boasts 6 bedrooms and 11 bedrooms, and it's located just a few minutes from La Quinta Resort and Club, where Taishia's season of The Bachelorette was filmed back in 2020. Next up, there's a $5 million villa in Hobe Sound, Florida, which sits on 5.24 acres and boasts nearly 10,000 square feet in total, along with various properties in Wellington, Florida, which are worth around $27.2 million in total. First, in 2013, he dropped a chill $8.7 million on his first Wellington abode, and then bought up a few more Wellington properties, including a 4-bedroom pad for $13.5 million and 2 empty lots for $5 million. After the stint in Florida, Bill bought up an $18 million estate in Rancho Santa Fe, California that includes a horse ranch and is in close proximity to a horse racetrack. The $18 million purchase took place in 2014 with the intention of turning the property into a place where his daughter Jennifer could train for her career as an equestrian. And last but certainly not least, there is the multi-million-dollar pad at the Yellowstone Club in Big Sky, Montana, which doesn't come with a price tag that we know of, since it's unclear just how much the Gates paid for their property. But what is known for sure is that becoming a member at this illustrious club merits a $300,000 initiation fee and more than $37,000 in annual fees. And that doesn't include a home within the community, which you have to buy to gain membership. But homes are not just the only thing that Bill has up his sleeve. There are estimated to be billions of dollars in farm and ranch land, which are spread across 18 states that he has stated will be used for creating long-term and sustainable crops, for helping out the hungry and malnourished across the globe that could otherwise not gain access to food for various reasons, like famine. So, there you have it, guys. That's all the homes that Bill Gates owns and manages across the globe. What did you think of his mainstay in Washington, the Xanadu? Were there any homes you were shocked to see on the list at all? And what would you do with that kind of money if you were Bill Gates? Would you get a bunch of homes and buy big toys yourself? Or would you try and give it away somehow? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, send us suggestions on what other kind of rich and opulent things you would like to see. Until next time, folks, we'll see you later.